Thank you very much for coming here to the Fundación Oreces. What are your thoughts on the future of education?
The parents of one of our grandchildren got a letter from the head teacher of our local village primary school about a year ago. And one of the things the letter said was, remember, it said, 80% of the jobs your children will fill haven't been invented yet. Which means we are educating young people for a future that is unknown and unknowable. The first thing that means is we should be giving people broad, flexible skills, not narrow, focused vocational training, because that will be in a skill that will rapidly become outdated. As technology moves on, the range of skills that will be needed, the types of jobs there will be, are going to be things that can partially be predicted today, but other things can't be predicted at all. The second implication is that all of us learn things in different ways. Some people like to do the reading first and then go to the lecture. Others would rather go to the lecture first to break the intellectual ice and then do the reading. Other people would rather forget about the lectures at all and just do the reading. Some people would rather understand the underlying principles and are not very interested in the practical applications. Others are interested in policy and practical applications and won't get interested in the theory until they can see why it's relevant. So that, and other people are good at numbers and spatial things. Others are more naturally gifted at literary things. That means that people will want to learn different things in different ways, and with modern technology, it's possible to do that. I heard someone say we should think about the amount of energy that goes into designing computer games, and imagine what we could do if we had computer, quote-unquote, games that were educational. So it would be educational computer programs which responded individually to the child. So if a child answered a question right, it would go on to the next question. If it got it wrong, that would lead it into a different track where it would ask a series of different questions to help the person build up whatever skill it was they hadn't got right the first time. So I would say the future of education means at least two things. It means broad, flexible skills, and it means individualized learning. People might get to the same place in the end, but the route through which they get there should be individualized and related to their particular specific talents, interests, and aptitudes.
Thank you very much. How should one promote, in your views, the quality of education in the future?
Historically, education has been thought of as static, and increasingly in the future, technology is going to drive changes. Therefore, education needs to change. And I think one of the key drivers in all this is to make systems of education more accountable and more competitive. I think the model of teachers as civil servants who get paid on a national pay scale with their pay rising each year with no link to their performance at all is yesterday's model. I've seen in higher education how universities that are exposed to international competitive pressures have systematically improved what they do. I think the same thing is true at schools. I'm not talking about unlimited, unrestricted competition. I'm talking about competition and transparency and accountability, whereby the results achieved by different schools are made public, whereby the extent to which schools are able to bring forward its weaker students is made public, the extent to which the achievements of pupils in a school related to the achievements of the children as they entered the school are made public, so that people will see which are the schools that can make the greatest difference to their children. Schools that do well will flourish. Schools that do less well will face incentives to find out what's going wrong and fix the problem. So I think ultimately I'm on the side of the children, I'm on the side of the students. Competitive pressures may make life a bit less comfortable for teachers and professors. I think that will improve education, and I think most teachers and most professors would rather be as good as they can, and they ought to be welcoming competitive pressures.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.